Oh gosh, obsession. You know, a little bit of craziness.
And there's a real return to appreciation of craftsmanship, but also sort of the rugged and the raw nature, you know, of things, in referencing the land.
And the dinner table is really a social landscape. And you don't really know what's going to happen.
When you find something that you're so passionate about, I think that you just kind of really can't let it go.
Handwritten, and that's part of the heritage that gets passed on.
Kind of where consumerism meets gender expectations.
It's a big goofball. Big complexity.
Oh my God!
The Napa Valley is known for food and wine, but there isn't a lot of emphasis about the visual arts. And I wanted to do this show to remind people how vital and important the visual arts are to the production of dining and to our daily lives. I just love it. The quality of light, there's a warmth to the subject matter, and yet it's sort of chilling at the same time. And I also think it's interesting that it's all men.
This is a fascinating piece. When I first saw it, I just want to climb into it. I had to hold myself back.
I've been working with small dresses for a long period of time because they're an iconic image of girlhood. And in the process of working with the dresses, I came across some aprons, some small aprons, and so I started working with those in the press. In the printmaking process, working them through the press to emboss the paper in this image.
And usually it's at the end of a meal that you take your napkin and you...
And that's where the lipstick shows up.
This piece is a set of lead crystal stemware that I purchased from someone who had recently inherited it and did not want it. So I was really interested in how these kind of valuable inheritances are becoming more and more irrelevant. A kind of metaphor for how you know, family narratives can get distorted through time.
It's challenging and wonderful, all at the same time. So we've both been making objects for a real long time. I fell in love with her in a clay studio. So ever since, it's been about 20 years or so that we've both been working with clay. It's the idea of sort of growing from a surface, you know, when referencing stone and wood, and really about sort of the primal and raw nature of the material of clay, and really seeing the materiality, with a rough edge, but then refining it in such a way that it becomes functional and elegant.
Right. So this is butter the size of an egg, and that always fascinated me. So I was like, Mom, I need the Mary Oliver frosting recipe. Kind of a timeline, a family tree, if you will, a time process of this handing down of food, the relationship that happens around food, and how that food is a connection through time.
Exploring like what kind of fantasy sort of setups can happen in 2 dimensions that can't happen in real life. That's
exactly the point. Yeah. It's like exactly the point of having a very white chef's coat, right? Yes. I can make you this amazing food in what could be, sauces splattering, but we're very, so that's the idea, is the level of care, that you can have very thin or very rough or very heavy edges, but it's because of that level of care and the level that you're dining at, that you're afforded that experience. Yes. Otherwise, let's eat off of plastic,
When they sit down to a beautiful meal, they're thinking about what they're tasting and not as much about what they're seeing on the plate and the arrangement and the aesthetics that go into that.
She would go into thrift stores and she noticed, for example, why is it all Mr. Coffee makers and, a certain brand of thing. And so she just started to collect them, and then she put them in resin, and then she sands down to the surface, so we get right up to the surface of the coffee maker showing through. And you can see they're just beautiful. two things I love a lot in my life are painting and pulling people together.
Yes. It's great meeting you here. You're supposed to say that. You're supposed to say it's great meeting you too.
No, I know. I was going to.
We always have problems with doors.